PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, won the Champions League for the first time ever, having a five-star performance against serial winners Inter Milan. And, you know, on their way to the final, they thrashed a lot of English teams. Two-thirds of the English team in the Premier League were thrashed out by PSG, making people to ask, is England, is the Premier League still the best team in the world? etc. And also, Chelsea won Europa Conference League, and they're also claiming champions of Europe. We are going to be discussing all of this and more into this episode of ROP, Run of Play Podcast. So we'll discuss all things football, but from the perspective of our teams, Arsenal and Manchester United. Let's welcome back the panel. I'm Dr. Tooth, obviously, and we have Johnny Boy, Arsenal supporter. How are you feeling today, Mr. Johnny Boy?
I'm happy today. PSG won the Champions League. I'm happy for them after trying for over 15 years, I guess, since they had the new ownership. So I'm happy for them.
Okay.
Beautiful football won at last. I would say that.
Fair enough. And we also got Mr. Jude, as usual, repping his Manchester United jersey. No football, no loss. We're back wearing jersey all summer. How are you feeling today,
They,
Jude?
they lost, please. They lost their first goal.
That's preseason. We don't really count preseason, but it's good to see your manager's reactions.
Ateta will count it. He's a trophy to Ateta.
No, okay.
We are doing good.
Is that what we're doing today? No problem. We'll be there. We'll continue. We'll continue on this step.
It's always part of this.
Okay. No, and also the moderator, Mr. Sean T. With the big old school Manchester United stuff at the back. No present Manchester United paraphernalia in your side. How are you feeling today, sir?
I'm ashamed of the new team.
No, yes, now, like all United fans, all I have to hold on to is the legacy, basically, that brought us here. But yeah, I'm happy that the season is over. All things are passed away. It's a brand new slate, and everything is up for imagination now.
All right. Where do we begin? We say congrats to PSG, I would say. Johnny Boy, I'm sure you're excited to support PSG this time, even though they knocked Arsenal out in the semi-final. What do you think about the game?
I think it was most of those that watched the game. We can all agree that it was a destruction. It was a complete destruction. Like it's one of those games whereby you can say to yourself, you know what, the best team, the better team, had the greatest team won the game. That there was no argument whatsoever. They were better than Inter Milan from top to bottom. And I think somebody brought up a good point. That I think one of the things that killed Inter Milan is that their age kind of showed, because the average age for PSG was like 23, and then Inter Milan's age was like 33 or so. It's right in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
They had Vitinha, Fabregas, and what's his name, João Neves. The oldest age I think is Fabregas is 27. While compared to Inter Milan, they had Chanaloglu, Mkhitaryan, Barella, and who did they have again? I forgot the last person. All they were like in their 30s, apart from Barella. So there was more running, more aggression. So I think overall, and I think they had a better manager as well. Enrique is, I think, to me, is a better manager than also Inzaghi. So, and also remember, Inter Milan just lost the league, I think, last weekend. So maybe, I don't know, but maybe that also had a play on their mind as well. Maybe they were still reeling from that breakdown for them not winning the league.
So in your mind, Arsenal is the second best team in this Champions League.
I never said that Inter Milan is second best team because they came second. So I mean,
I'm just asking now.
You don't have to bring that up, but it's okay. Inter Milan is second best team in the Champions League this season because they got to the final. But
Ateta is the better coach, I mean.
Nah, why are you guys taking us back? Ateta, we've all agreed that Ateta is not the best. So why are you guys taking us back?
Don't mind them.
The truth about it, I think the PSG were the better team, and I think the better team won. The only thing that shocked me was that I didn't expect a 5-0 demolition. To be very honest, I expected maybe a KG, maybe 1-0 or 2-0, like last year's final, something like that. But I don't think anybody saw 5. It could have been 6 actually, because I think somebody missed like a glaring chance for PSG as well, so it could have been 6. So overall, I'm happy for PSG. I'm happy for Kalefi. What he has dreamt for the past over 10 years now has come to fruition.
Why are you happy for the owner of a football club? Like, I don't understand. All the money he's making. You think he's not happy with
you
the
can
money?
see.
Please, I'm happy for the fans. I don't care about the owner. Like,
I'm happy for him because you can see that he has been trying. It's not for lack of trying that he hasn't won it. We can see it's not all like some others whereby they just do the bare minimum. He does the.
who are the others? Who are the others? Could name the others.
Maybe the
I
other.
mean, I think we can all agree our ownership right here are classified into that category. You can classify them into that category of owners that just do the bare minimum. They don't really care about. They say they care about winning, but we don't see their show. We don't see their workings. But Khalifa, we can actually see his workings. He has done. He has gotten Messi. He has gotten Neymar. He has gotten Ibrahimovic. He has gotten Cavani. The best of the
Where
best.
did where did PSG get to last season in Champions League?
Semi-final actually. Dortmund knocked them out last season.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
No, to be fair,
this
they've been
No,
knocking on the door for a while. Like they get to
I think
quarters
in the
steady,
last
go
in
to
the last yeah in the
final.
last 5 years, especially
They've
the
been
last five
knocking
years,
steady.
yes, yeah, the record has been,
Yeah,
and they've gotten like good coaches as well to tell you that they're also trying. So finally, they've won the Champions League. Now is if they can dominate. I think the next question is can they actually dominate in Europe because their squad is young, like I said,
no, they
and
cannot.
they only can get better, and they're probably
No,
going to
no.
take
I
and they're
mean,
still going to look at
it's
pieces as well too. So
it would be fair to say that they've been dominating in Europe already because PSG has always been a force to reckon with, right? The thing with them is that they have been historic butlers, so they've always had extreme performances where they will play very well, destroy a team, and then in the next leg they crash out basically, and they're a laughing stock. But now finally they've crossed over that hurdle, and I think part of why for me what I'm taking away from this game is that like Inter Milan is not they're not a good team. Like in terms of quality, like if you look at the starting 11, like I'm looking at the team: Kalanoglu,
yeah, they're not that.
Mkhitaryan, Mkhitaryan from
They're,
where
they're
he's
Way
old.
now
back.
They're,
playing
they're so
in
they're so
midfield
old, man.
basically
They're so old. Like
for
look at their
Inter
squad.
Milan, right?
I don't.
Marcus Thuram, Lautaro Martinez,
Mhm.
Denzel Dumfries is okay, but like who are these guys? Basically, nobody knows what the fuck they are or how they got this far. I think it was an Arsenal PSG final.
Ajemi is 38 years. Like they're so freaking old. Like
I don't think you should blame the squad. I think you
Exactly.
should blame the league. Blame the league. They don't have money. That's what they've been
Hmm.
suffering. Inter, AC, Juventus, all of them. It's going to be tough for him. Getting to the final is a good achievement on the coach's part. Like bringing those guys to the final.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But they don't have the money. Even if they win this now, they'll probably just do one or two add-ons, and it's most likely going to be another club reject. That's what they go for
you're
again.
right. You're right
They
because
need to find ways to punch in, bring in money into those leagues, and then help them compete at the higher levels. That's what I
Hmm.
think.
you're right because I think
I
what's it
mean,
called?
let me ask you, Najud. Do you agree with what Johnny Bro was saying about PSG becoming the mainstay in Europe, right? Because obviously they win French league every year.
That's a
There's no
given.
really any competition there. Maybe this guy Deserbi Marseille can give them small trouble every now and then, but it's really their league to lose. They don't have a striker per se. They play with Dumfries, Dembele, Doué,
Ola.
um,
Bacola
and
Oh,
Karashika
and
or
Caravas. Yeah.
Barakola. So who knows how
they have a
long
striker
you
in
know?
Ramos, but they don't use him, right?
He's not good.
Yeah, if they had,
That's,
I think if they
that's,
had played
that's the
against
person you people wanted to replace Ronaldo with.
Arsenal in the final, any other team they could have lost, or it wouldn't have been this easy. But how do you see this PSG team, Jude? Are they here to stay?
Um, First of all, congratulations to them.
Mm.
I think one of the good things that made me happy is the way they played reminded me of Amarim Sporting vs Man City. So I know some people will be hating, but that's exactly the
Why
same
did
thing.
why did he replicate that for
Yes.
Man? Why did
It
he
gave me
replicate that
a,
for
it
Man?
gave me a sense of hope and joy.
Mm.
But let me not take the spotlight from PSG. Um, main thing is I think they have a great manager. That's what is their
Mm.
strength. Two, they have a good keeper, probably the best keeper right now in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah,
Um,
Pep,
Three, they
Pep
have a
knows him.
young, experienced squad. So they have like guys who have been playing big teams, like Hakimi. I think this guy in their center back is a little bit older, but
Mm.
they'll need to. So those guys, it's quite funny that Vitinha Fabian Ruiz is the midfield that has been like engineering things for these guys throughout. So it's all about like a system, like a play that they've been trying to perfect, right? They struggled in the group stages to get it done. I think the Man City game changed all the stuff for them. From that Man City game, they started dominating till
Mm.
the final. For me, I think they just need to. They're a big team. They have the money for them to stay. If they carry this squad and go again, they'll probably end up maybe quarter or semi final, except if they have luck. on their side, then they'll probably get through. But for them to stay, they'll probably need to add on some people. I think Mendes got injured yesterday, right?
Mhm.
They
Yeah, he
had to
did. He
sub him
did.
down. So they'll probably need like fresh legs.
I mean,
Striker,
they have Theo
striker,
Hernandez.
elite striker that scores will be
Mm.
needed because now they actually have the people that can dribble and drop the ball for the guy.
Mhm.
So they need that. They probably need midfield. Those midfielders might need some support, like to sub them and bring in somebody. And their wing backs are good. They also need maybe one center back. So they have the money to do. They just need to reinforce. If they reinforce, then
Right.
they have that power to go. I'm just happy to know that the people that knocked us out are going to collect some. That's the
Let me ask.
ready for
Let's ask
Soccer.
But then you know that
Dr. Toads
actually
now, right?
Kolo Muani is actually coming back to PSG because remember he's on loan
They
to
don't
PSG.
need him. He's not a good striker. They should sell him and find
Yeah,
a
all this Colomwani,
But
even
but
even
then
these
but then
PSG
but then
guys.
you can argue based on what they did this season that they actually don't need a striker. Like if you look at the
Then
team,
they will need him next season. That's the problem. They will need next season because people. The thing with tactics is you come out with the tactics
yeah,
next season. People
find you out.
will
It's true,
look
sure.
for a striker. So you need to have a plan B
No,
because
so
they might
so
not
I
have the
mean,
energy to run around.
the Dewey guy, never heard of him before this final. Dembele, I think, was one season away from being a one hit wonder, laughing stock player, and all of a sudden he's a Ballon d'Or contender. Karashika, I mean, good luck to him, but like it's one season still, right? There's still this football we've seen a lot. And I'm sure if you ask many Arsenal fans, Dr. Toes, like you, they might say if Arsenal had a striker in that PSG game, right? Either home or away. It could have been a different story if Havertz or Martinelli took that chance, or somebody made the right decision in
Fine
that
margins.
position.
Yeah.
So fine margins,
Mhm.
right? So I mean, do you buy the PSG hype, or do you think like it's like lightning in the bottle, just like with Liverpool? Also, everything worked together in their favor, and they were lucky
No,
this season.
I buy the PSG hype just because of their manager. The manager came back with something to prove,
Mm.
and he proved it. Because that final, there's like why like 5 goals. We've not seen that in a long time. You can tell that he
Mm.
lit up the players. Like these guys are old. These guys were the ones that knocked out Barcelona. You need to be on top of your game. Blah 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 blah. Things like that. And he has the backing of of his owner. So I think that is going to stay. If it was a random manager, then yeah. But as we were saying earlier, PSG
Mm.
has always like in the Champions League, they've been knocking on the door all this time, like quarterfinals, semi-finals, even got to a final one time. So I think they'll stay. Are they going to win it next time? I doubt it. Real Madrid will have something to say about that. But yeah, they're here to stay. They'll keep dominating the
Arsenal,
league.
what does have something to say about it?
Arsenal, we are coming. We are coming. We also need to be knocking on the door consistently. To win Champions League is not it's not beans. You guys that have won it 2 times before you won
Mm.
your first one. You know how many times you went to semis and quarters and stuff. We've not been to semis
Mm.
and quarters enough times, but we hope that we
I
might also get a lightning
oh,
in a
okay.
bottle. Oh, no, and then win it one day. But yeah.
Right.
Next season you do it.
Yeah, so I mean, big ups to PSG, right?
Mhm.
I think good luck to them. I don't really see them bothering the rest of us in England or Spain too much because they're in their French league. Nobody
Yeah,
really gives a damn.
and
Um,
they asked Luis Enrique the same is the Premier League the best team in the best league in the world, and his answer was like, I don't know if they're the best league in the world, but we knocked out Aston Villa, we knocked out Arsenal, so
They
if
beat
they're
all
the
the
ones
English
that are
team.
there, who are the best team? Like
yeah, I mean,
so,
it's a weird argument that people try to have, right? For me personally, I think the Premier League is the best league in the world.
mm,
However, we want to measure it, like competitiveness, entertainment value, whatever metric you want to use. But I think the Champions League, obviously is very entertaining, and big up to PSG. Congrats to Inter also for going this far. I
mhm.
think this new format, the experiments, it worked.
Yes,
Probably, yeah, yeah. This
It did.
this new
Yes,
format of
I
playing
love it
of
so
playing
much. I love
worked,
it
and
so much, actually.
But it's still funny. The big boys still came out.
Yeah,
no,
they'll
but
always come out, but
the thing was more for like people should watch actually more like not just one
yeah,
one
more
team
big,
is
more
dead,
big
one
games.
team everyone is
Yes.
watching. Like everyone play
Somebody's
everyone.
collecting
You know,
10-0 over the
before,
way.
Exactly.
before, right? You could just, for instance, Madrid, see where Madrid finished. Madrid finished like bottom half, right? If it was before, Madrid would be in a group whereby they can as well coast and they'll sit top the group and then meet a stupid team in the next round. But it wasn't like that this case. Imagine PSG meeting Liverpool in the second round. You couldn't get something like that before. It would have been
Mm.
tough to get something like that. So and it was a good trial.
I
So
think
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love it
yeah.
actually.
more
And
games,
like you said,
but
PSG
yeah, we like
struggled.
it.
PSG struggled in the group stage, like you said. They barely made it in. Same to Man City. So I mean, it's a good. I love the format actually. I do love it.
Yeah, no,
The other thing you
it's
not add, Seun, is like for them, for PSG, right? Next season, we already know they're going to win their league. Maybe the cup
hmm,
if they're
Do we
interested.
know that though?
So
hmm.
it's like
Do
Do
we
we know
know
that?
that?
Do we
Because
know that?
remember,
Lille has
most
Lille.
won.
likely
Liverpool
they're
has
going to
won. Other
win.
people have won as
You
well.
already know that there's a 90% chance that they're going to
Okay,
win their
fine,
league.
fair,
So
90%, yeah.
or 99%. One is just the error that will happen. So it's more like that league is not important. Like it's not competitive enough for them to be obstructed in focusing on the Champions
Hmm.
League if they
I would
want
say
to
it's not
win.
competitive.
The
It's just
pressure
that
of
they are
pressuring them.
far above everybody. That's what I would say.
That's
Not
what,
in terms
it's
of
not competitive
they
enough. Now they
try,
are
they
far
try.
now.
Other teams try.
The distance between the other teams are like
Hori went viral over the last week because he was in conversation with Roy Keane
It was
and
overlap. Maybe
Gary
the
Neville
overlap.
and Jamie
Yes.
Carragher.
They overlap,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the overlap, yeah. Talking about, an interesting metaphor, basically, the idea of building, and the fact that, Arsenal's or Arteta's building is very tall. So Arsenal, I think, has been linked with Zubimendi, Benjamin Sesko, Gyökeres. I forget who else. Look, sticking with you
Rodrigo.
to be competitive next season. Whatever you envision Arsenal's goals to be, right? And don't tell me that you know what the owners are going to do.
Oh,
Something, something,
yeah.
something.
Duh.
This is imagination season now. Season is over, right? So any football has finished now. Everybody has clean slates, basically.
Yeah.
So you're free to imagine whatever you
what
like.
are your own
What do Arsenal need to do?
your own.
What do Arsenal need to do this summer to be competitive?
Summer they need to let the players rest. You just do recovery, no hard sessions, and people that need surgery, let them go and have surgery. Don't wait the season starts before you go and do surgery. They have to do that, and obviously they have to go without saying the summer transfer window. You have to strengthen the squad. That's what they have to do to get game next season.
What positions do you think they should strengthen?
Do I think
And who?
who I don't mean
Yeah.
I don't watch enough football. I don't play football manager to say who. I just
But
know
do you
that
expect them?
whoever they choose to sign, it must work. If it does not work, there will be
What do you mean by
problems.
who? What do you mean by you don't play for woman manager? Chelsea just signed the lap now, right?
Yeah.
We know that there's Gyökeres on the market. You know there's Osimhen. People want strikers. We know there's Isak. We know there's Sesko.
No, that's
Abi
that's what
Jesco.
that's what people
So
are telling us in the media. I don't media is PR to me. I don't buy into PR. So it's whoever we sign, the actual people that we sign.
that's cool. How often have you been surprised? Usually when Arsenal signs a player, you guys know about the person like six
Or
months
like
before,
Higuain and,
right?
and Benzema
Do
and,
we?
and
Do we?
Isak. Because according if,
Especially
we, if
yeah.
I'm
No,
to believe
no,
rumor, we have signed all these
no.
all these players
Obviously,
and
there
Luis
there there are
Suarez.
always tons of rumors now. There are
It's
always tons of rumors, but like
they'll
there's
buy in
never any.
August. They'll buy
You
in
guys have
August.
never been. You've never been surprised that you woke up in the morning and be like, "Wow, Arsenal signed this guy." I never experienced it.
Gabriel
That's not how
Jesus
it
in
works
recent
now.
years was a surprise.
You were not
We were
surprised.
surprised. It just happened.
You were surprised when the links first came out
No,
in the
we it was
news, but you were
boom
not
boom bam
surprised
bam done.
when.
Harvard as well were surprised. Boom bam bam done. Like it's
Selling.
not all is Gyokanes will be hearing it for like ages. Isak will be hearing it for ages. Like so that's why I'm like I don't buy into all the like when we sign people. Like
Hmm.
United have put Konya up now. Then I've okay, yes, this is who we have signed. But for me, I don't care who they sign. Deliver is what I care about. Whoever you choose to sign is your
We're at that
vision.
stage now.
You
Yes,
you
we're at
you
that
you
stage.
chose this player because you think this player is going to work for your team. Oh yeah, make it work. That is my own
Okay,
stance.
okay. I mean, Johnny Boy, Doctor Toes is being the chicken. Can you say who? Can you say who you want us now? Because like I mean, I don't see how you guys go into next season without a striker, without like a somebody whose job it is to score only. So I mean, how you seeing the summer window?
Um, just like you're saying, it's Arsenal's biggest, but they always say that every summer. So I'm not going to follow that wording again. But it's actually huge because I think Ateta is at his stage now. To me, I feel that he's at the stage whereby even the fans that back him, I think most of them, even though they might end up changing their mind now again, They are the same whereby they are actually going to flip if he doesn't. And most of them are
No,
even
it's not
saying
going to be
they're, they're,
flip.
they're not. They are even some of them are even saying they're not even after the FA Cup or the Cali Cup. It's either he wins the league or the Champions League.
That's what
That's
they
what
said
some of them
last
are saying.
summer.
I know, but that's what they're even
They'll
saying.
say the same thing
But
again
but
next year.
but now
You don't
I
want FA
actually
Cup. No.
but now I feel that, to be honest with you, I actually believe them that I feel that if Ateta doesn't win a trophy next season, I think he's going to lose a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
fans.
what is
I
it?
believe.
The question is, what does he have to do this summer to win a trophy?
So because of that, I feel Arsenal need to me attack. I don't think Arsenal should focus on our defense again. He has focused on defense too much and the midfield. This summer should be all any most of our signings should be attack. Last summer all our signings were like defense and midfield. This summer, if you're buying 4 players, 3 should be attackers and maybe 1 can be a defender. Because our attack needs tweak. The only part of our team Ateta hasn't worked on, if you check, is our attack. He has worked
Let's
on
look,
that. He has
let's
worked
look
on
at the
that.
Arsenal team now. Odegaard is not going anywhere, for example. Saka is not going anywhere.
One
Odegaard
of
in the
them.
center is not
And
going
also
anywhere.
we also
Saka is
need
not going anywhere on the right.
we need a replacement for Odegaard. Just so you know that we need a replacement for or somebody to compete with him. He's too comfortable for me. He's too comfortable.
The levels that you want to ball in, there's nobody that you can buy that is going to be Odegaard's level that you can keep on the bench, right? Like,
No,
because
no.
Odegaard is one of the best players
The
in the
person,
world.
you're not going to tell him that he's going to be on the bench. You're going to tell him that he's coming to start. So all he needs to do is come play. If he plays better than Odegaard, he keeps his shirt. It's as simple as that. It's not hard. It's
No,
not rocket
that
science.
that person is one arena, right?
No, no,
Like
no. One
that's
area is Saka's replacement. Who I need for us
okay.
now is Eze. I need Eze in my team.
So you want to get easy and have him be like Trossard and be
So
swapping with
I
Odegaard's.
get Eze in my team. He's starting immediately because Arsenal need ball carriers as well. Some people that can break the lines, and you get that with Eze. Eze,
So is he on the left,
I don't need to put no.
Odegaard and Saka?
Eze doesn't need to play on the left. He can play there, and that's one reason why Eze fits Arsenal. Because Arteta likes versatile players, right? So to me, Eze fits his style. Eze can play on the left, Eze can play on the right, can play in the middle. Just like Cunha. They have that ability to roam
No, no,
across.
wait now, but like Odegaard is not going anywhere.
That's
Neither is
fine.
Saka.
I'm not saying get rid of him. That's why I said he's going to still be on the team. But I need somebody that is going to compete. He's too comfortable in us. Like he went like how many months playing shit and he was still playing. We don't need that in Arsenal. No, 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 we don't need that. If you're not playing where you get to the bench and somebody takes your place and if he balls, he keeps his shirt. There's no favoritism again because now it's about to win. We're about win now. There's no more try and error right now. We are going for win.
We said that last summer.
Mm.
Definitely, we need a left winger. That's pretty much obvious. I don't know, man. The person I wanted was this guy in PSG, but he's gone. So I don't think Asta can get Rodrigo. I don't think Madrid is going to sell Rodrigo. And if they do, it's
How
probably
about
going.
Rashford?
No, we don't need Rashford. I'm sorry, we don't need Rashford. I'm tired of taking Man U and Chelsea's project.
Okay.
We're not dumping grounds for those guys. We don't need Rashford. If he wants to, he should go to Villa. He played so well for Villa. He can go to Villa or go to Barca like he's been linked with. We don't need. I would say I don't mind Rafael of AC Milan, to be honest with you. I don't mind him. I actually
Hmm.
don't mind Leao actually. I know he's inconsistent, but I think in terms of somebody that can actually break the lines, take on because what Arsenal lacks is also players that can take on because when you have low blocks, like you need players that can take your man one on one. Because when you do that, guess what? Somebody's going to leave his position to come and support that guy. Now you have an open space. But Arsenal lack that. Apart from
Yeah,
Saka,
I
Martinelli
think I have
doesn't do that.
180.
For
Saka
me,
doesn't. Saka's the only player in the Arsenal that can do that.
you see
Martinelli
the
is
you see the
more
names
running.
that Johnny Boy has mentioned, right? Eze, Liao. These are all the PR names you've been linked to over the years. That's why I say I'm not
No, no,
buying into
it's
it
not about
until
no,
we
it's not about
sign the people.
no, no, it's not. He
Liao,
said what
every summer for the last 3 years, we've been linked to Liao. Like every
no, no, but
season,
I
every
said my
Arsenal fan
point.
will be like, we want Eze. These are all PR names. Baba,
No, no,
It's
I
sign
said
good to
people.
no,
dream.
no, no, no. It's
Sign
not
people
about
where you think say is the
Yeah,
guys.
but it doesn't
Let's
mean
judge
there's
I
them.
PR
feel
now.
I feel that those are the guys that will take us now to winning the league as
There
far
are
as I'm concerned.
players everywhere that can take us to the next level. Sign them.
Rashford is there.
In as much as I like Nico Williams, I think
He knows how to beat PSG at least.
Williams is more to me like a Martinelli type of player. We don't need Martinelli type
Again,
of player
another
again.
PR name. We're not signing any of those people. We'll go and sign a Janle Koko from Uzbekistan. That's who Arsenal are going
Those
to
are the
sign
scar.
this summer.
Those are the scar too much by
So,
Because
Arsenal that
that's
he
heartbreak.
doesn't believe anything,
That's
and I
heartbreak
can't blame him. He has
talking.
been scarred too much by Arsenal that he
no,
doesn't
no,
believe
I've
anything.
That's
seen the
too bad.
pattern. I've
Until
been
they sign,
patterned.
until the player raises up his shirt in an Arsenal signed jersey.
Yeah. You're saying all
Until
this
then,
one now. We'll go and sign Semenyo for Bournemouth or something like that.
Semedo
I
will
mean,
do.
I mean, I mean,
Semenyo
Semedo will
is
do
Jude.
not
bad.
bad now.
Semedo will
Semenyo
do
I
is
mean,
bad
not
by
Jude.
better.
Bournemouth.
Let's leave these
Let's
jaded
say
guys because they are quite frustrated.
Who
All
are
the
not
other clubs in
frustrated?
London, all the other clubs in London. I think basically from Crystal Palace all the way to Chelsea,
they had
trophy.
something to show up.
You have something to hold. So it's really making these Arsenal fans reflect. But I think for us, right,
Watford is
and
Brentford
le-
is in London,
what was
sure,
that go
but
to?
anyways, yeah.
Brentford is in London
They
too.
are the
Okay,
same with
let's.
Brentford and
So
Fulham.
is QPR now, I believe,
They're the
right? So
same. I think
let's
Fulham is
Fulham
better.
too.
let's look for other
And
let's look for other
Fulham
clubs
is
like
there too.
London, Fulham too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's your level. But Jude, I don't know how you're feeling now, but I think for me, it's a clean slate. I think I've used up all my anger, all my sadness, basically for this United team. It's all gone, right?
But
And I'm willing to give the ownership, the management benefit of the doubt.
Mhm.
I think I'm just as interested in outgoings as I am in
So who
incoming.
should
So
who
I want
should
to
you
see.
sign? Give us names. Just someone you ask us that question. Give us names.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm happy to. Right. So I think we need like at least like five like first team like starting players, right?
Osimhen,
So we need.
Gyökeres, those kind of people.
I don't mind Osimhen. I would have
You already have
liked.
one. You already have one, so four left, right?
We already have Cunha, right? So I don't mind Mbemo, right? If we're being greedy, right? Just give me. So if our attack basically next season changes from Garnacho
Hoyland.
and Hoyland to Mbemo and Cunha, like levels are already immediately changed. Basically, that's like a plus something upgrade,
Wow.
right? So we go and get a striker. I would not have minded the lap, but honestly, I'll take anybody because Hoyland, I think,
You
is
can take
the
Mateta
situation
now.
is
Mateta
critical
is
at this
there.
point.
Matata is still better.
The problem I'll have with someone like Mateta is that it's like I don't think we'll be able to get him for a reasonable price. I think Crystal Palace will want to look to milk as much as possible, and I will not pay 50 million. I'll not pay more than 30 million for Mateta.
He has had numbers for the last 2 seasons. Now you have to pay like 60, 70 million.
Why
No,
did you?
that's the
No,
problem.
no,
He's
yeah.
had over. He's got double figures goals alone in
I
the Premier
remember
League
the
for the
reason
last
why
two
Delap.
seasons.
The reason why Delap is
And
cheap.
that's not should buy him now.
Yeah, the reason why
I
Delap
don't
is
mind. I
cheap.
won't mind him there.
Delap
I
was
won't
a
mind
release.
him, but they won't buy him. So
Delap,
Ours
Delap,
is not
Delap
better.
had a release clause because his team got relegated. That's why he got it for this cheap fee. The same with Cunha. Cunha had a release clause, so that's why Mateta
No,
doesn't
yeah.
have one.
but even the
So
release
it's
cost for
Ours
Konya
is
So
was like
not
still
better.
60 something million. So
yeah, that's reasonable. But if without a release clause, you also would have cut your hand up for him for sure.
no, yeah. So all that is value, right? And I think that's exactly the type of player we should go into buy. And I think, Joe, what I'm saying is we have an opportunity to really change the complexion of this squad if we're able to see all these deals through. So how do you see our prospects basically for this summer? Like with the signings, being able to get rid of players. What do you think is realistically achievable for this United team?
They should first sell. That's the main thing. They should sell. Let us know
Mm,
what you are looking for. Because
mm.
right now, we still have the same squad. It's great to be the same story. If they should sell players, like I expect people to be leaving, at least some people, their contracts have ended. So those ones are living on their own. So I don't know where Garnacho stands, but we might as well cash in. Like I
Would you
said,
sell? Would you sell Garnacho?
we should just cash in. There's no point.
Hmm.
There's no point at this moment. Cash in and see if we can use him to buy an actual left winger that can play that 10. Mbemo coming in might disturb Ahmad. I don't know how you feel about that because it's probably the
Mm,
same wing that they play.
but Mbamo is 2 for 1.
mm,
He can
I
play
know,
on the right
I
and he
know,
can play as
but
a, as
we are
a,
looking
as a
at
striker.
also we're also looking at developing players to become. Do you understand? We don't want to be a part where young players won't have hope again.
Mm.
I feel like our defense is
Then keep
okay.
Garnacho.
I
Then
don't
let's
really.
let Garnacho have hope.
No. He's a bad
Ah,
egg.
ah.
He's becoming a bad
Yeah.
egg in
That
the
was same
He's a
system.
young
thing.
guy. You can be able to
A
mold
bad
him,
egg,
no?
he's becoming a bad egg, creating that. No, we don't want mothers again. We want
let
our big
let me let me
seats.
push you on that bad X stuff, Jude, right? Because I think the counter argument for people is that, well, actually, Garnacho did score a lot of goals for this Amorim
Like he
guy,
said.
and in the worst of moments where Amorim's formation looked like it was shit, it was Garnacho who was carrying the ball. The only like the little excitement that we got from this season, most of it or a huge chunk of it came from Garnacho. Because when Amorim sent Rashford away and sent Anthony away, and he was left with only basically squares in for round holes, Garnacho was the only person who could carry the ball and run. So Garnacho, one, does he have a point to feel aggrieved that he didn't get to start the final, even though he didn't express it the right way? I think the second thing is, are we mortgaging our future when we're getting rid of players like Kobe Mino, who might not fit in neither the number 10 or number 6 position in this Amorim situation, or Garnacho, whose only crime is that he cannot play as a number 10 who needs to be with his back to goal. Like, does the club need to think about like what they are trading off? Because what if this Amorim stuff doesn't work? You're selling a 20-year-old who is worth 50 million at a 20. If he continues on a trajectory, like where could he end up?
Like for me, I feel he should leave. He should leave Man U. He should leave, irrespective. It's for his own good. It's for his own good that I'm saying he should leave. Because if he stays, he's not going to get to that level he wants to get. One, or freedom to get to that level that he wants to get. And then two, he's not going to be beneficial to us. It's just the same thing like Rashford. Like there's a point you look at. At some point I looked at it. Okay, maybe Amorim has a plan. Maybe he's doing it to like expose. He wants a system and then expose the positions that he needs to buy players, right? Which is fine. That was my only thought throughout last season because other than that, there's no point for him to keep playing the same thing when he could play a different system that brings out the best in those players, like push them to be more attacking, right? We can concede some goals and then work on how we concede the goals. But if you change the system, there's a system that works because Van Persie did. Sorry, is it Van Nistelrooy did it, and they were attacking and they could contain the ball and do all those things. But he wants to play a different system, which I think the
He's going
club
to have
is
that's,
trying
he's
to
going to
back
have the
him.
entire preseason and Asia
Yes.
tour, American tour to work on it.
I think
Then
you're
by the
waiting
time he
for
signs his own players, like he wants, 15 players, he said he wants, right? If he signs his 15 players,
he's not
yeah,
going to
he's
get
going
15.
to,
Be realistic. That's why I said be realistic. Even the five you said,
So basically,
that five is not.
Amorim needs to have time. Then basically, he needs to have at least 2, 3 seasons to be able to form his team.
I'm not against him having
But
time.
he is
He can
against
have.
himself having time. That's why I don't understand.
That's that's his own distance. For me, Man U is not going to just wake up tomorrow and start being there. It's going to take a process, right? For me, I
But
feel
you have
like
to trust that process.
I'm okay trusting
Good.
him. The problem is not us sitting at 15th
No,
again. I
obviously, no,
can't trust
no,
that
it's going to
again.
be better next season.
14th.
Well, if you sign
No,
him
but
well,
no, but that's
He needs to
no,
get
but
us to
that's
like
Amorim's
yeah.
promise now, basically,
he
dude.
needs to get us to
That's what
like
Amorim is trying to tell you and me.
this season.
This team
This
is as
season,
bad
being
as it.
realistic with the squad, I don't know what they'll buy. Being realistic, I feel like he needs to get us to top six. Top six is an achievable position. If he lands a trophy, that's fine. But that's me lowering the ball for him. But then next season, it gives us the
No, that
energy because this
if he gets
Champions
top
League.
six next season, that is a big jump. I don't think that's a
No,
lower
not
expectation.
not this.
From
I'm
15
saying
to
this
6,
season.
that's a big jump. Oh.
That's what I'm
I know
saying.
you're
He
I know
has
you're
to get
Manchester
there.
United,
It's
but
not about the club. We
15 to
don't have
6.
any European competition. We don't have any competition. It's better getting us out of the FA Cup and Carling Cup. Let's focus on the
Wolves
league
did
and
not
get.
have any European competition and they bottled third to finish seventh.
That's
One game per week.
Wolves. I'm
So
saying like
sometimes one game per
Manchester
week can also
United.
be your enemy because you're that
But
so much time to
you see,
relax.
it's my expectation now. My
Yeah,
expectation is
sorry.
for him to beat all the small teams. He can manage the big teams once, few draws and a few losses. But he should beat all the small teams, and we will get there. So what does he need to do? He needs to go to his own board and check what he needs to buy. So for me, I feel
Hmm.
like those are things. Our defense is actually okay. It's because we are not scoring. That's why we are having problem with defense. The only problem in our defense is Onana. and I don't see
Not Luke
him.
Shaw, not
I don't see
Delete,
him.
not Lindelof,
Not that low that you hate so
I'm
not
much.
telling
Dalo.
you that our major problem is on
It's
Nana.
going
If
to
we
be
start
sold
scoring, you
anyway.
see what
So
I'm telling you. The other thing that's our major problem is
his,
complacency in
his, his
defense.
old coach
That's
wants him. I think there's a rumor that Ten
yeah,
Hag
he
wants
wants
him
him
in
in
But
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen.
unfortunately,
You should follow Ten
no,
Hag.
Dag is not
You should
buying him because they
follow.
bought the Brentford goalkeeper. They just announced today.
Yeah, Flecken.
Yes, so unfortunately, Onana ain't going.
Nah, I
We're
mean,
stuck with
I mean,
him.
honestly,
So me,
dude,
I don't see them selling him this season. But I feel like they should have a better second choice keeper so that we can be benching him and making him to wake up.
I,
That's
I
one.
feel man, you can go 1 year
Next,
with Onana still as goalkeeper and
we
see what
can go
happens.
1 year.
No,
We just
Galatasaray will
like
go for
buying.
him.
Onana is not the priority now. Priority is how do we make the attack to be scoring, or who do we need to bring in to make the attack to be
Konya.
scoring? That's what we need to find out.
Yeah, exactly. You brought Cunha in.
no,
Cunha
I
is
mean,
just a start. Cunha is not a finish.
Cunha is an automatic upgrade
Cunha,
on Garnacho, right? And that's what I mean. Like,
And
if
Hoyland.
we can
And
actually
Hoyland
sign
too.
and Hoyland, yeah, definitely. So if we can actually sign some of these players, right? Obviously the club definitely has a plan. I think this Amorim guy, the only
but
thing
the
that he
problem
has
here,
going for
you are
him,
also killing your youngsters, right? You have to also watch that way.
no,
While you're trying to balance it.
it's a double edged sword, right? Because like Amorim, the
The
only
only
thing he
person
has
that
going
fits
for
in as a
him,
youngster now is Hayden, which is the defender. Dogu because he has
Heaven is good, yeah.
Dogu because he has energy, and I think Dogu is even shaky, but his energy is helping him for
He
now.
only had six
Ahmad,
months. You give him time.
What of Obi?
Ahmad,
Chidobi?
Chidobe that's the problem. That's what I'm trying to explain. Amorim was there saying, "Oh, I'll play the second 11." All throughout, we were losing the whole match. What's his name? Hojdan was not doing anything. Oh yeah, play the Chidobe. Let us see who
But
manages
again,
those
this
guys.
is for me. This is why I'm going to stand up for some managers, right? Because the Chidobe you guys are calling, when he has played, what has he done?
Let him play. It's better for him to develop than Hojdan being there. Don't you know?
Tino Obi needs to
What you don't
he
understand
never
is
stop well
when your
finish.
experienced player, the person that you see as your senior striker or your senior defender, is playing, and week in week out is bottling, and than a youngster coming in. A youngster is more open to changing their game,
No,
improving,
the
and
youngster needs to be protected.
it will give more confidence.
If
The confidence
Chidobe
of a
miss
young
all those chances that Holland is missing for like
Maybe
five,
he
six
came
games,
back in. He
you
scored
guys
two
will
goals.
finish him in the
He
media.
scored 2 goals in preseason. He scored 2 goals. He would have protected Hojland by playing Chidobe. That's what he does. He would have protected Hojland by playing Chidobe. He played Hojland throughout.
Mm.
Hojland is
Amorim
not giving
himself,
him
Amorim
anything.
himself has questions to answer, and I think the club has no choice but to back him basically this summer. So we'll see how it plays out for the United team. I mean, another club that has a lot to prove next season, Chelsea. They made it to Champions League,
Please,
and they
let's
already
go
spent.
first for are they European champions? So that's what I want to ask the panel.
They're not. They're just
Chelsea.
Yes,
mini
because their
champions.
fans are saying they're European champions, they're champions of Europe because they won Conference
Are
League.
they champions of Europe?
That's what they
No,
said.
I mean,
Paris.
champions of Europe
It's PSG.
locally is used to describe Champions League winners,
Hmm.
right? So technically, yes, they are champions of the European competition,
Hmm.
but that phrase is used commonly by everybody to describe something else.
Okay, I just
So
want us to
no,
clarify that
they're
They are
not.
they are cha. They are cha. They are
because
cha.
because because
They're
Tottenham is
just used to
also
be
That,
set
Tottenham is
as.
also saying
they are
they're champions of Europe as well.
no.
Champions.
They are cha. Then cha.
And I'm sure if Manchester United had won the Europa League, you guys would say you're champions of Europe. I'm sure you guys would have said it.
No,
They
I
are
won't
cha.
say that.
No,
They are cha.
I won't say
my
that.
new format is that it's good that we do win that. It's good that we don't win that
Oh
Europa.
no,
Actually,
Shay.
You wanted
No,
to.
I'm happy
no,
with.
it's good that we didn't
No,
win.
it's not that.
So
It
Throw
would have
your
been
way
better
to the
if we
Europa
had
League,
won.
and now you want to
If
switch
we
your way
had
to the
won,
Europa
we
League.
could have
Just go apply
attracted
with
players that we needed.
No, Jude. If we had won
It's
that
not about the
final,
Champions League, it's about attracting players.
forget the
See man,
players that
that's
like the
cash.
players that we need,
Your
The man
man,
you
that's
always
the
cash.
players
attract
that we
people.
need,
No,
we
it's
need them
money
to
that
come and suffer with
we
us
attract
first.
them with money.
Duh.
Now we cannot
It's,
attract
it's,
with
it's
Um,
still something.
prestige.
It's still something.
We
is
don't need
that
to
if you
suffer.
had
This
won
is
that
not the first
final,
problem. It's the
Jude,
one that
if I had
comes
won
with
that
all
final,
this that we're in now.
neither
People
you
that
or I
do
would
not
have
deserve
been.
200, 200, 250, bumping
Mm.
their contract with Ole. They use Ole.
We're not gonna pay anybody any ridiculous contract now because
Uh,
one, we don't have the money. Two, that's not our vibe anymore, right? But I'm saying that like the humility that we're experiencing right now is necessary, is good
no, it's good for Amorim to
that we're
wake up
actually
to
in this
reality.
position.
I understand that.
Because yes, all the fans, all the players, even the manager too, the whole club were rock bottom. Basically, we opened rock bottom and went below again.
Mm.
And if we had won that final, it would have
Imagine
been
if you had got to
misguided
17th.
misguided
That
celebrations.
reminds me.
Um,
Last episode, Jude rated the Man United season 7 out of 10. Right?
No, I didn't.
It's
hmm,
less
I
three. He
can't
said
rate
three out
seven
of
out
ten.
of
3 out of 10.
ten.
What do you rate your Manchester United season, show?
0. Like if I can give negative, say, I'll subtract points.
How
I'm already
now?
starting. I'm already starting from a deficit, in my
But he went
opinion,
to a
next
final,
season.
no? You got to a final.
He went to the
That
No,
building that
final.
Terry
he's
was saying
starting
about
from.
Ateta building, at
He
least you
knocked
guys went to
Arsenal.
the final. So
He knocked Arsenal. He beat Man City.
yes,
He brought out Ahmad. Uh-uh. You
No,
cannot put
see,
his name without.
here's where I look at this football for me. We sacked the manager before Amorim because that manager was failing. We're not putting a new manager that is failing times two, basically. And we're now saying
There's nothing you can do
times
now.
three.
At this point, there's nothing
And
you
we're
can do. Do
not,
you want to sack him again?
no, that the arguments like, and he's basically, I think, and a lot of fans have been trying to insult everybody by telling them that actually this squad is really bad, right? And so our true position in the league, despite what we finished for the last 5 years, we haven't been the same United of legend for the last 5 years, but we have been in the top three, top four, top five. We've been to Europa Final before. We've been to Champions League before in the last 5 or 6 years. And then another manager is now coming and saying, actually, this is a 17th place team. Right. So, like, for me, like, I'm here for the ride, right? So, we're here, but 0, like, minus 3. Next season, he starts from a negative for me because he has a lot to prove.
yeah.
Because I'm not sure that even if we sign everybody that this guy wants to sign, right, it doesn't still help that 70% of possession is between three center backs. Like that's not how I want to play football, or that's not how I think football should be played. So we'll see if it works, but yeah, we're here for the
Well,
ride.
going back to Chelsea, yes, the pressure is on them. They've made top. They've made top four. They've won a cup. The manager is saying "f you" to everyone in the media. So now next season they
Mm.
must be competing for the league. That's no more bottling and saying we're not competing. For me, expectation for Chelsea is must compete for the league. That's all. If you can say "f you" to everybody because you on the last day, Aston Villa bottled it, Newcastle bottled it, and you're not like f everybody because we got the champion. Okay, cool. Go for the league then. That's my expectation for them.
No, I think it would be fair for Chelsea to say that like their highs are really high. Like when this Chelsea team was good during the season, they were literally unplayable. Palmer, Jackson, Caicedo, like that
Last
When
year.
when the
the
title was in
3 minutes.
December, remember? When the title was in December.
Yeah. For 5 minutes when they could play Caicedo and Lavia together, basically that midfield was
Was
unstoppable,
solid,
right?
yeah.
Even though they didn't last very long. So I think the Chelsea fans have something to hold on to as like a we've seen how really good this team could look. But yeah, no, I think they should be proud.
And Jude,
Yeah, yeah.
what do you think of Chelsea?
They can't deny anything again. All those who are not. I will slap any Chelsea fan that I see. They need to accept that with their full chest now.
Hmm.
At least they won trophy. They came,
Fourth.
they're in Champions League. So the league is between Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool.
And United.
So no, are you okay? No, don't give us
I mean,
pressure.
I mean, to be honest with you, it has been done before. Leicester and Chelsea had proved that it has been done before.
Where
Leicester were 16 the previous season before they won the league. Remember? Then they won the next
till
season.
Amori
Chelsea,
said
Chelsea,
their glory days ahead.
Chelsea were actually
Immediately
10th.
after making the
I think
statement,
Right?
Chelsea
we,
finished
we
10th or
lost we
11th
lost Precision Cup.
and won the league.
So
It's
I don't
doable.
want any stress.
And,
It's doable. Like Shehu said, you guys just need a couple of players and then you guys will be good. So if you get the players you're thinking you can get.
We're not, you know that we won't get it, just like
No, no,
Arsenal
no,
will
no.
get it.
I don't
So
know that. I don't know
let's
that. I
just,
don't know that.
you don't
When
know
it comes
what,
to getting players, United
uh,
gets more of their players than
we
Arsenal. We
won't
all know
get the
that. It's a
players.
fact.
You mentioned 5 players. Why you buy 5 players?
You guys bought like 6 last summer, didn't you?
yes, now we
Where did
can
you
we,
buy?
we can buy
If
five
you're
players
buying
now,
people for
but
the same position, please.
Ericsson is going. Like Casemiro is
Exactly.
going. Lindelof is going. Like you mentioned to yourself, automatic contract expiration.
Mhm.
Like 3 or 4 players out of the squad, basically. That's room for new people
No,
to
I don't
join.
think you guys
Thiago
will sign well. You
Silva.
guys, first of all, you guys are broke. You're only in one competition or only domestic competitions. I guess you guys will have to do with a
We
team
say we
squad.
are broke.
No, you have to do a team squad this season and then gather all the money, save, and then
Eh?
buy in the next summer.
Just like I told you, the Champions League would have been better. If we had gotten that spot, we would
No,
have
but
gotten
No,
Well,
you know
it's
what?
only
international
extra.
If you
It's
get
only
the
players.
Champions
40
League,
million you'd
you
have
would have
gotten.
left group stages now. You would have left group
I
stages.
don't care about the Champions League. It's access to get money and get
No,
players. That's
you would
my
have
own.
only
see
gotten
that
40
that
million for
Champions
winning
League.
Europa League. That's what you'd have gotten
Yes,
because you did not finish up
we
high in
would
the
have used the
table.
money to buy Mateta.
At least
No,
to attract players. But thank
We
you.
can still attract players now without Champions League. What are you
no,
talking about? You
no.
don't need Champions League to attract players. It's man you were talking
I
about.
don't mind. I don't mind the elite squad this season. I don't mind promote Hariyamas, promote Chido properly, promote Sekukone, promote all
They
these
are
guys.
just
Right? Give
saying
me
promote people that Brentford will catch and give us four. Please.
no. See, if they'll give us four, it's because this Amorim is
They
playing
should
doing
retire
further mass
Shaw.
instead of
Shaw
football.
should go to Everton.
No,
Um,
They should retire Shaw. We are
I'm
tired.
agreeing with Shane on this one. This kind of situation you guys are in, right? You just have to play the kids. Use their energy to get you back high up the table. Use that to recoup all the money and then go again. Like Lampard did when he finished third.
Yes.
Buying all the
Not
yeah.
young children everywhere,
Treat
promoting
it as treat
everyone.
it as
Got to
problem
UCL.
with the
Champions League
system.
and
The system does not allow the kids. So Brighton is going to catch us. Brentford,
but at least
Crystal
they are
Palace,
going to run. They're going to run more than the
Bournemouth,
Casemiro that is walking.
Bournemouth. These four players. This four team alone. Not
The,
talk of
the
that's
bees,
four. Home
the
and
bees,
away.
the bees.
We got
Mm.
Adam Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle. That's 9.
No,
So
no,
what are the remaining
but
to
how did we get this bad now, right? Just because we had a manager who we're calling him a bald fraud, right? Ten Hag, but he at least
The
we
reason
knew
why
that
we're this
we
bad is we believe in it. The board believes in the system that the coach wants to play. So then I give the players that will work with the system. Otherwise, we'll keep delivering every week. We'll come here, they'll be laughing at us. So
wait, speaking of systems and players and balls, is it true that they sacked Hans today?
There are rumors that he's
Jesus,
going to be sacked. I don't think they confirmed it, but there are rumors. Yes.
I think he wants to leave.
No, how can he?
What do
How
you guys
can he
think?
want
What
to
do you
leave
guys think
when
about
he is
this?
saying that the third season is better than the second season? He's there chatting rubbish again. All these people that just win things and overhype.
I I,
But
I
yeah,
think he want to play in Champions League next
No, no,
season.
you will not understand Naruto
He
tools.
hasn't been
no,
sacked
I
yet, but
understand.
it's
I understand.
expected.
I
Yeah, they
understand.
said
You won't
What?
understand.
What?
At least
Finishing 16th and
he
winning a
left
cup?
on
I would
a
not
high.
understand that. No,
Winning a
It's
cup.
not
Winning a
no.
it's
We've
not
like
bad.
you
He
make
left
you
on a
you're
high.
making it sound like I'm Brentford or something. Like
He
we've
left
won
on a
cups.
high, so
Okay, there's a
he
reason
can
why
get
we are the
another
third
club.
biggest in England, and we're the third biggest based on cups, not charity shield cups in
Mm.
total.
Cups.
So don't make
Which
it
one?
sound like I'm Brentford. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you very much. Yes.
No,
but if he eventually sack Ateta next season, won't that be bad? Like he didn't win anything for 7 years, and
That,
you
that's it.
believe in
That will
the
be on your
coach.
CV. How does it concern me?
that's the CV. That's because
Does it
Arsenal
concern
moves
us? The
on.
club moves on.
Arsenal is Arsenal, not Ateta
I
FC.
don't understand. No.
That's what we keep on saying.
You know,
It's
I think
Arsenal.
I think if
I
Arsenal,
didn't see,
I
I
think if
didn't see,
Arsenal
I
are going
didn't
to
see
win it,
Sheon, I didn't see
Ateta is
Sheon
the
crying when Ten Hag was sacked. Instead, it was happy Amorim was coming
Ateta
in.
is the biggest. No, no,
That's the way it is.
Ateta is the biggest fraud though. There are certain coaches that win cups. Is Ateta don't win anything. He's just giving
I think
vibes.
if Arsenal are going to win a trophy,
Which is what Thierry Henry, like Shewty mentioned at the beginning, that it caused controversy because Thierry Henry made a statement which to me was valid, but I don't know, some Arsenal fans took it.
but Henry also is chatting shit now because Henry tried to manage, right? He did try to manage, and like many of these guys that talk on TV for a living, they realize there is no beans,
But you
right?
guys
Yeah,
So
can.
but
if
the issue Henry
I
had,
beg.
to me, I
But
feel he has a
again,
manager.
yeah, go on,
He took
finish.
his mentality of playing to managing, because when you're at that top, right, it's difficult. Check if you check most of the players that were at the top, it's very hard for them to manage. Why? The expectation of the players is a certain level, and they came to realize that those players are not at the
all the,
level they
all,
played.
all the above, John Boy, all the above, right? What I was going to say is that like if Arsenal are going to win a trophy, in my opinion, in the next 5 years, it's going to be with Arteta, right? Like there's no way
We've got
around it. The
another
best
five
that it can
years. Yeah, I
happen,
know that's what you want to hope
the
for.
best the
Yes.
best that
No,
can
that's not.
happen is
That's
that
not. You're wrong there. So, yeah, sure, you're
no,
wrong
if
there.
if if you're lucky, you end up with a slot situation where the next manager, literally the next person that takes over after Arteta, wins a
But
trophy
No,
there's no guarantee.
because they are able
it has
to.
been proven over and over that, bro, if you get the right coach, you win something. Arsenal squad is not bad. We can all agree here. Our squad is not bad.
Yeah, but I don't want to
Get a
go
good
too much into in the Arsenal. But for me,
if
I
you
want to
get a
say
good
that if
coach, I think Arsenal
Henry
can
was
win the
not
league.
even talking from a managerial point of view, he was talking as a fan.
Ex-
It's the same thing that all fans are saying, like majority of fans are
True,
saying.
exactly.
But is it because he's managed before? It's just like saying like, oh, if you've not done and if you've not been a manager before, you cannot criticize a manager. If you've not been a player before, you cannot criticize a player.
Sure,
That's just what is going on
sure.
in my head because I didn't think he said anything wrong. And he didn't even mention.
Exactly.
He did not even mention
He didn't
Ateta's
mention
name.
Arteta.
He just
Yeah,
said was saying
exactly.
the
The
players,
club.
the players. He did not say
And
anything about the
this is
manager.
the same this is the same Henry that bigged up Arsenal in the Champions League. He was bigging them up
Throughout,
this year.
he was excited.
Throughout,
Last season, he was
throughout.
hoping they were going
They
to win
never
the
they
league.
never
Like
criticize they never criticized him for saying that. But that was the first time he said something that was actually true. They're coming to his case. That tells you that some Arsenal fans are sick in the head.
No. I think, and again, this is not an Arsenal fan speaking, right? But I think it would be misguided of Arsenal to sack Ateta.
That's what the rival fans are going
If you
to
guys
do
are
now.
still being if you guys are still being competitive, because surely you don't
Competitive in
expect
what,
to
bro? Competitive in what?
wait now. And again, this is me taking off the trolling hat,
You
right?
are trolling. That's
Put
what
it
you're
into the
doing. You're not
side.
taking it off.
No, put it
I
into the
can see. I
side.
can see.
Surely you don't expect to have been winning the league every year.
No, no,
That's not what you
nobody's
expect,
saying that.
right?
But I expect
Okay,
winning last season.
so you think that as an Arsenal fan, you can come to an agreement with the other teams for when it to be satisfactory for you to win and when it to be okay for you to hand over, because you want to win sometimes, right? You don't expect to win all the time, but you want to win sometimes, and it should be a fair situation where that give and take of you winning, not
Which is
winning
what Ori,
is enough for
which
you
was
to
what
still
Ori
be
said. Ori didn't even say win
okay
the
with
league.
it.
Ori didn't even say win the league. Ori said win cups. So meaning FA Cup, Cali Cup. That's what he said. So he didn't talk
But
about winning leagues,
you're competing for all these
which is what he was
cups
saying.
now,
Say,
right?
no, we're not. Apart from
You are competing
this is the
for all
only
these
this is the
trophies
only
now.
season that Arsenal actually competed. Well,
yeah,
semi-final we lost. This is the only season.
In
This is the only
Arsene
season.
Wenger's 13 years at Arsenal, I mean, how many years? How many trophies did he win in the entire time? In his entire
he won like 7 FA Cups, 3 Premier Leagues at
Premier
least.
League. Yeah.
I maybe 7 or 8.
So I said,
Seven FA Cups, 3 Premier Leagues. I'm sure, and I don't think he won any Carling Cups.
no, he didn't win Cali Cup.
right. Okay. So, but he wasn't winning all the time, right? He wasn't winning every year.
No,
He
but in the
wasn't
last
winning
five,
every
but
Then
in the last 5 years, he decided to go on a
he
bang.
won 3.
He won
Yes.
3 in the last 5 years.
And Henri, and people always reference Liverpool. Liverpool didn't win the league all the season, but guess what they did along the way? They won FA Cup, they won Carling Cup, they won
Yeah,
Champions League.
for me,
That's what
Yeah,
that's why I always say that.
that's what Henri was saying. That yes, he's not he commends Arsenal for competing in the league, right? But then you cannot neglect the other cups because
This
for
is what
instance
this
now
is the what
you
I'm.
come second, you win Carling Cup. It's a good season.
don't
You
worry,
come
This
don't
is
second,
the
worry.
point I've always made.
You
Which is
sack,
the point I've always made, right? If you get a winning coach that won things, right? They realize that okay, I cannot go for this one right now, but let me collect
yes,
this, right?
along the
But
way.
Ateta is still playing like he's managing as if he's a fan. All this Arsenal fan is talking about, FA Cup. I've won the FA Cup. I don't have to put too much
And you
pressure.
can see Ateta's
League
ego
Cup
too.
is not.
Ateta ego is
Fans don't really rate it that much, but Premier
yes.
League, Champions League, I'll go for those ones.
Ateta's
Neglecting
ego is too
that the
much.
other cups as well, they mean something.
Ateta's
don't
ego is too much.
don't worry.
He wants his first major trophy to be the Premier League and Champions League. That's what he wants.
Don't worry.
So that's
After
only the
another
first thing.
season, after the next season of not winning any trophy, you sack Ateta. Then you now start new projects,
No,
or with a
and
manager
that's
that will need 2 years
Liverpool didn't
to
start a new project.
score
I'm
in his
sorry,
own
Liverpool didn't start a
image.
new project.
Then, so so you want to use the extraordinary
No.
example of
My
somebody
point is
who
that
achieved
you
something
get a
so
good coach.
unique
You
that
don't need
they
to
are
start
a
a new
special
project and
case?
say
Slot's project is starting this summer.
No, what do you mean?
Slot's
if you
project is
get a
starting
good
this
What
summer.
coach,
do you mean?
you don't need to start a new
Tell
project.
me, tell me another example outside of this one unique slot example of a manager that came and
Conte. When Conte came to Chelsea.
And Enrique winning
did
Champions
they
League.
win the league? Did they
Con-
win the league the year before that?
no, but what I'm saying, they didn't win the league. Chelsea
Well,
were 10th. That's
no,
what I'm trying to
they
tell
didn't
you.
win the league.
They were 10th the year before Conte came in. Conte came in. Remember, he even struggled in his first 3 months. Remember,
Yeah.
then he now switched formation to like 3-4-3, went to his favor. And what happened? They went on a binder and they won the league.
Even
So
Tuchel as well. Tuchel was struggling in the
Thank
league,
you.
Okay.
and then
Thank you.
he
And I know
switched days and won the
what's
Champions
funny
League.
about Tuchel.
Wait.
What's funny about Tuchel? Lampard
Wait now.
literally said
What happened? What happened after that? What happened after that? So
they
The
won an FA
Euro,
Cup the next season. They won an FA Cup the next year and finished third.
and then
and then he left because he had a fallout with
Okay.
the owners. That's with Abramovich.
Okay. So you're saying that
And they
like,
went to go sign a coach that does
basically-
not have any winning history, and the rest is history.
No, so who else should be replicating this model, right? United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool. We should all be sacking managers every 3 years and winning the league.
No, we're not
Like,
saying.
I don't
For me,
mind.
for me, I'm
Arsenal
not even
trying-
saying sack them. I'm just saying if you get a winning coach, because again, another very good example is Crystal Palace. For me, that's a perfect example, right?
Yes.
They've been signing all these management people that are just going to get them up the table, but they went to go sign a coach that actually won a Europa League in Glasgow. So it's like, yeah, we're going to finish up the table, but I'm winning things. I'm going to collect a cup along the way as well. Again, the mentality of people that have won majors is always different from someone that is still struggling to get the first one.
Yes, no, but like a coach is not like a coach is just not like a fixture, like a tire that you just change on the car and you continue driving. A coach literally defines the entire way that the club operates or the way the club moves
That's why you have
and
to make
looks
sure
and the
you
way
get
they
the
play on
right
the field.
person. Barcelona is
Exactly.
another example.
That's
They
what-
sacked
thank
Xavi, they brought in Flick. You can see treble straight away. And the same team that Xavi was struggling with is winning treble.
Remember, Xavi even said that he cannot win anything with the youngsters. Xavi literally said that, and Flick has proved him wrong that you can actually win with youngsters. He has proved him wrong in just 1 year.
So Arsenal should just go and find
Elite.
like another coincidence, right? They're just gonna
So their
find like
managers out
a.
there. It's not a coincidence. Their
No, we're not
managers
saying
out there.
Sack Arteta go and bring Graham Potter. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
So go and
Do
get
your-
the top of the
A
top.
club like Arsenal should be able to
No,
find
but like
winning
because
coaches.
before Flick, there was somebody else that was sacked before Xavi came, and Xavi couldn't do it. The other person that was there couldn't do it, and then Flick came and did it, right?
Yeah.
And all these other managers.
Bro, you can. It's doable, bro. Look at Conte. Napoli finished, I think, 11th last year or 10th.
There was that Dutch coach, Rokoman.
He has won the league with what's his name?
Ronald Koeman, a bit, yeah, Koeman, yeah.
Conte has won the league
Yeah.
again with Napoli. Bro, he's doing with Scott.
It's the coach that matters.
Yeah,
Look at
exactly.
PSG.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Look at PSG.
Apply the right
No,
coach and everything changes.
no. But like some clubs are saying that like no, actually we want to build a legacy, and we
What
don't
legacy?
mind having the same manager. We don't mind having the same manager for 12 to 15 years,
But
right?
that's the wrong mindset.
Because
This back in those days, that's the dangers of that shit. That when that manager leaves, right?
This
there's going
is
to be
the
problems
jersey
with
that
everybody. That's the
Johnny
issue.
Boy is wearing.
You're always saying this is where I always give my answer in two folds. I'm sure when you ask me, right? There's fan expectation, there's club expectation. According to the club, Arteta is successful. They're not going to sack him. But obviously, fans want something else. Fans are not getting money. We're not getting any money, right? We don't get the money.
Exactly, which is why I like when companies are bringing Arsenal's balance sheet from Champions League. I just like, why are you showing that? Like, that doesn't mean. Is that going to your pocket? No, it's not going to your pocket.
But anyways,
It's
yeah.
going to the club's pocket, and their directors, they're the ones going to make the money. Are you busy showing us balance sheet? That's made 100 million. Who gives a damn about that? Like,
look, I think some clubs can look at the situation and say we don't want to be the kind of club who sacks a manager every 3 years
but
because
surely
it's
we could not agree that Arteta has been given enough time. 5 years is enough time for Arteta. It's not
enough
3
time
years.
to do what?
For 6 years actually. If you want to
Enough time to do what?
be able to
If
win
you say enough time
something.
to take Arsenal from a sometimes Champions League mid-table Premier League
That only happened.
was once
that only happened
a
like
great club.
3 seasons only.
No, like a sometimes Champions League mid-table
Let's
was
go-
once a
let's
great
go
club.
passive, no
Now a
problem.
laughing stock.
No, show that you are writing history with that,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
You're making it seem like
Wenger,
Be
Wenger
more
only
generous.
finished outside the Champions League space twice.
twice.
No, why are we talking as if? Why are
So
we talking as
basically,
if the
before
legacy
Arteta was
of-
only like 3 or 4 years that we're out of the Champions League. We're making it
No,
sound as
but-
if
but
we're like finishing.
you guys are the
8th and
OG
10th and-
It was 3.
You guys are the OG crash outs.
that put us there too.
You guys are the OG crash out merchants now. Like in modern history, if you want to look at an example of a club that fell from grace, it's Arsenal because your fans put it on YouTube for us to see, right? The first experience of football fans with a club whose fan base was struggling with the history or the legacy of what the club once was. It was Arsenal fans. It was Arsenal fan TV that showed us what happens when a club legacy goes from good to
And that's
wow,
that's the issue.
terrible.
And the issue started
So
because
that's a
No,
history
you
that
guys are
Arteta has now.
good to bad. You guys are good to terrible. Is different, please.
Okay,
Yes.
good to bad, good to bad. But that's the history that Arteta has now fundamentally changed because Arsenal is now unequivocally part
Yes,
of the
again, which we now, which
conversation
is why we
of
are back to square one. Wenger was doing this and was not winning cups, and people wanted him out. They started winning FA
Exactly.
cups, and they still wanted him out because not winning the
Uh,
league. So we are back. We are
confirm.
back in that back to that cycle because football is a cycle.
Yes.
So we're
no,
now
no,
back to
but
competing,
as I told you,
but no cups.
you're the one who's not being generous now because part of the issue with Wenger was like not only was he not winning, he wasn't evolving in the league. All your good players were leaving. Fabregas left.
Yes,
You know,
but the
like
thing is,
He wasn't
your guys.
winning. They left because he
but
was
as soon as
winning. That's why he was leaving.
he started spending money again, it was winning stuff again. So you see, there's different dimension to it.
As no as a Wenger ideologically also fundamentally was opposed to where football was going, right? So he was the last holdout of a generation that clearly football had forgotten or football had gotten past, and he was having a hard time keeping. So even his interviews, the way he was speaking about games, the ideas that he was frustrating the Arsenal fans,
But
like he was frustrating you guys basically because he wasn't facing
Yeah, I think
reality.
that's
That's
on
all.
Wenger's defense, I think he was going through a lot. He came out recently. Was it him or a coach came out recently and said, I think it was Ferguson. I came out and said what Wenger was going through. Like they were trying to balance budget for Arsenal or something, and
Mm.
Wenger had the option to leave, but somebody advised him to stay back, and he had to suffer through that period of
Yeah, I'm not even talking.
that
I'm talking about the
lean
last
spot.
couple of years. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like Ateta,
So, but that's
we are
why
back. We are back in that cycle.
when you see
Exactly.
that
You're not.
When
We are back in
Wenger
that
You're in
built
a
cycle.
up the
better place.
stadium,
You're
they
not in. I
started
would say a
balling
better play.
more. They
Wenger
started
also got to a
having money to
final
buy.
of Champions League. Wenger
No, no,
was
but like,
winning double. So
Yeah.
no, no, but like the closest that Arsenal has come since like to this
Wenger,
era of Arsenal right now, where you guys have that
And
it factor where
he ended with
people look
nothing.
at the Arsenal
No,
players
no
in
offense.
the
He ended with
tunnel.
nothing. He
It
ended with
started with
nothing.
who?
He ended with nothing. The closest we've got to ended with nothing. So
No, no, but like,
it's
but
as good
like
as you. No,
again,
nobody remembers second. We all know that. Everything we're going to remember is
he
first.
collected
yes,
red card now. He
yes, but like
collected red
let's
card.
let's
Don't
let's
go.
interrogate that
You
a
were
bit
playing
now, right?
Barcelona.
And the question is whether or not that's a feature of our TikTok generation, right? Whether that's a feature of just the way we are right now, where people can no longer like appreciate because what Arsenal is giving to
Chelsea,
Arsenal fans right
you're the one
now
that's
is the
nobody's arguing
confidence.
against you. Nobody's.
No, no, it's the
I
confidence
appreciate that
going into
better.
games knowing more often than not, Arsenal is the favorite
I'm sure
against
Jones
any
and I will
team
pick up Ateta
in
here.
England
Keep
or
up.
in Europe. And
agreed.
and you're saying you want to trade that, at
Chelsea.
that confidence basically for 5 minutes
Nobody is
of a
saying
No,
trophy.
nobody is
no.
saying trade the confidence. We say we want that confidence plus that confidence
Okay,
plus.
I Chelsea, you wouldn't know
okay,
until you do
and
that because
and
it's trial,
the only way that comes is from building the solid foundation of
which he has
7 years
done, which he has
of
done.
work. Because otherwise you will be Chelsea, where 3 years ago you were Champions League winners. 3 years later, you're 10th place. 2 years from that, you're seventh. They have to sack a new manager, and then you have to bring
Chelsea,
Poch, and then you have to
I
bring.
guarantee you, if you ask Chelsea fans, I swear to God, they'll be happy. They're happy with the style of Abramovich. No Chelsea fan hates Abramovich's era. I dare you to bring one Chelsea fan that hates Abramovich's era. I
No, no,
dare
no.
you,
Okay, no,
and I
no,
guarantee you,
no. So,
Arsenal fans, if they're being true to themselves, they would want to have an Abramovich era in Arsenal. I guarantee you, even if the structures of Ateta fans want to have Abramovich's era in Arsenal.
sure,
So I
right,
don't get your
but
argument
but
there.
but the Abramovich era is part of the problem, right? The Abramovich era, quote unquote, is part of the issue, right? Because Abramovich brought in a type of that's part of what Fergie and Wenger could no longer cope with, basically in football, because he brought in this new era of instant success that must be manufactured in a vacuum, and he was able to do it. He was able to do it for 10,
Throughout his
12.
throughout his tenure, he was able to do that. Throughout his tenure.
Yeah, he was able to do it for some time, and when it worked, it looked really good, right? Basically, but there was always competition from legacy people like United at the time with Fergie,
Yeah,
who were able to compete still,
confirmed.
with an entirely different business model, an entirely different system, right? There was also
But Fergie was a
Arsenal who
world class
tried to compete
manager
at the
as
time.
well, so that's why Fergie was a world class manager.
The I think for me, like, is not everything has to be exactly like Chelsea, right? I think that's definitely one
Nobody's
model to
even saying
build.
about Chelsea. Nobody's even. I'm not even
Yeah, we're
talking
talking
about
about
them
the
because
different models, but anyways, it's
yeah.
not good.
But what I'm talking about is that I feel like I don't think I've ever criticized. Ateta is a good coach. I've always mentioned that he's a good coach. But my issue is that, like just like Henry said, when does the building end? Because you can't continue. It's just like you start a building, right?
What does that
The
mean? Like,
build
as in,
the
who are you
building must be
telling?
completed at
Do you
some
think
stage.
you
You
want
cannot
to?
keep
Do
on
you think you
building a
want to win
house
a
for.
trophy more than Ateta?
Sorry,
Do you think you as an Arsenal fan wants to win more than Ateta? Do you think you want to win a
Ateta
trophy
is
more
not
than?
showing me that he wants to win a trophy because if he's showing me, he would be giving up the Carling Cup and the FA Cup just like that. He's not
No,
showing
the,
me
the
those
question,
things.
the question, the answer to your question is no. But his actions and the choices he's making shows that
Yes,
he's not sure how to do it. That's
he's
it.
not.
He's not sure how to do
I'm
it.
I'm my
Who
I'm
is
my
sure?
I'm my own
Who
I'm
is
my own
sure? How
my
many
own
people
thought
have the
process.
trophies?
Enrique,
It's not
Luis
built
Enrique
now.
is sure. He was so sure that he went to go and smash Inter 5-0 in
No,
the
no,
Champions
no,
League.
no.
Like,
Luis Enrique failed at Spain, right?
but he
He
won the
he
Champions League
he
with
had
Barcelona as well. He won lots of things
I
with
wouldn't I
Barcelona.
wouldn't really say he failed at Spain. He didn't win the trophy, fine, but I wouldn't say he failed because remember Enrique this current Spanish squad now is a byproduct of what Enrique built. He was one that brought in them Gavi and all the rest. Remember, Spain squad was aging. Enrique took over an aging Spanish squad, so he had to rebuild. So he went through what Ateta is
okay.
going
Okay,
through right
so
now.
these are all contextual
So I'm just telling you.
factors
So
that's making him a human being, like all the other managers that are also human beings, right? Cool.
which is
And
what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying.
that there are some contextual factors that apply to Mikel Arteta
Which is
too,
what I'm
uh,
and I
saying.
can't believe I
Which is what
spent.
I'm saying that Ateta could be the builder, and then somebody comes to complete the house. Which is what I'm saying. So Ateta could
if
be
he
Enrique for
anyone
Spain,
anything that for me, my honest, anything that wants to happen, it should happen. But I want to see results. That's all I want. That's all I care about. At the end of the day,
Mm.
I want
because
results.
I feel
Yeah,
that
yeah. My whole summary is that if Arsenal is going to win a trophy in the next 5 years, it's going to be with Arteta,
Of
or you're
course,
going
we
to
want
be
5 years so
regressing
that
in
you can
style.
win more
Mm.
cups in the meantime
yeah,
and
because you
continue
guys just
bantering.
want to
Yeah, go
banter
ahead.
us now. That's the issue.
Yeah.
That so we're fine. You're talking from a hater's perspective, not a fan. So I understand. That's
I,
fine.
I, I can't believe like what you think what you're hearing is iteration, but I think it has been a good 1 hour 7 minutes of back and forth, and to take us home.
Yeah, so on our way home, we're going to say, please press the like button. And do you think Chelsea are champions of Europe? We say no. And also, do you think that it is right or wrong for ex players, ex managers to talk about the club that they support? You let us know in the comment
Mm.
section below. Please press the like button, subscribe if you're new yet to do so. And until the next episode, please take care. Peace.